Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'll be making me some fried breadfruit. This breadfruit has been prepared inside of my oven. You can roast it, bake it, or even boil it. So if you want to learn this fried oven roast breadfruit, please do not forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and let's go make some delicious fried breadfruits in my kitchen. Let's go. So this is all that you need for your breadfruit. So this is what the breadfruit looks like. Let me just show you guys how it looks. It has the stem right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the stem out. All right, so we want all that excess stain from the breadfruit to be drained off. So before we jump into preparing our breadfruit, we are going to go ahead and clean up our breadfruit. So we're going to give it a wash. So let's move on to that process. So the breadfruit is all cleaned up. Alright, that's how it looks. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move on to the next process. So let's go. Looks like now we're going to pat dry it with paper towel. Most of you probably want to ask this question, but what is breadfruit? It is a popular ingredient in many Caribbean households. With its starchy potato-like texture, it makes a great side dish at any time of the day. You won't regret giving breadfruit a try. Before we do anything else, we want to make sure our oven is preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So make it go on hot and make it get ready for the breadfruit. All right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to add a little bit of our pure vegetable oil to our breadfruit, because we don't want our breadfruit to be dried and everything. So we're going to add a little oil to it. So just a little bit. All right. We're just gonna rub it on it like this. Just a little bit of your oil. Alright. And it is all oiled up. You don't need a lot of oil, just a little bit. And yeah, there it is. We're going to make an X at the top of our breadfruit. This helps to penetrate the heat inside of our breadfruit. There it is. All right. And now the stem, we're going to try and see if we could take it out. There it is. It popped out just like this. See? Okay. So this is what it looks like. And the X on top. So now, when the X is on top like this, the heat from the oven, it goes down straight through the top of the breadfruit, and it helps our breadfruit to be prepared quickly. And yeah, it doesn't take long to be prepared. This is it. So what we're going to do now, we are going to move on to the next process. So let's go. Now that I place my breadfruit inside of the oven, you want to make sure you have a little tray or a little baking tin, so that the excess stain from the breadfruit is drained on it. You don't want to mess up your oven with the stain from the breadfruit. All right, take that into consideration. We are going to leave this to be baked for 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right, so please make sure you set your timer, and you can check on your breadfruit every now and then in between that 1 hour and a half time. So see you guys back in an hour and a half. During the hour and a half, as I mentioned, I came back to check on my breadfruit, and it a go on with itself, guys. Look at that. So the heat penetrates in the middle, and look, it's wide open. So what I'm doing here is I'm flipping over my breadfruit on the opposite side, so all that heat can penetrate inside, and we want to make sure it is completely done. All right, we are all finished, and it's time to take my breadfruit out of the oven. The smell of baked breadfruit is everything. As you can see, the X in the top again plays an important role. So what I'm doing here, I'm using my clean knife to go inside of the breadfruit to show you guys that it is well baked. Follow these steps and I can assure you, you won't go wrong. This is what baked breadfruit should look like when you stick your knife inside of the middle. What I'm doing here, I'm going to leave my breadfruit like for an hour to cool off, because if you cut the breadfruit and it's still hot, it's gonna break apart. So see you guys back in like an hour time. My breadfruit is all cool. As you can see, the X in the top, it is closed. So yes, it's cool and we're ready to dig in. So this is what the middle of our breadfruit looks like. That's the stem in the middle. And yeah, we're gonna dig into it and then show you what it looks like when we're cutting it. Now what we're going to do, we are going to remove the stem. That is the middle of the breadfruit. So now this is what the stem of the breadfruit looks like. You want to make sure you remove that, alright? When peeling our breadfruit, we don't want to go too deep. We want to make sure we just take the skin off the breadfruit. So as you can see, I'm going like an inch into my breadfruit. Please make sure you follow the steps. And this is what my skin looks like. I didn't go too deep into my breadfruit. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut up our breadfruit. So you want to hold your breadfruit firm like this in your hand. And then you're just gonna hold your knife and you're just gonna bring it in like this. Alright. Just continue using the same method that I showed you guys previously. And there it is. Voila, a nice breadfruit. Baking breadfruit is just the exact same thing as roasting it. So most people, they don't have access to, like the wood fire outside to roast it. And, people have access mainly to their oven. So it is okay to bake your breadfruit, all right? You cannot tell me that I didn't go outside and roast my breadfruit. But no, I baked my breadfruit inside of my oven. Look at all of this niceness sitting right in front of me. So guys, I can assure you, follow these steps and I can assure you, you won't go wrong with baking your breadfruit inside of your oven. Breadfruit cut up to perfection. Cannot wait to move on to the next process, so let's go. Now to our pot, I am going in with our vegetable oil. And that is enough. Now we're going to let our oil heat and then we're going to come back. Before we add our breadfruit to our pan to be fried, we are going to go in with some salt. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just add a little bit of salt. Sprinkle with salt and it. Alright. And then we're just gonna pat it. Now we are going to add our breadfruit. You want to make sure you use a fork to make sure, you know, the breadfruit is being fried properly. And I'm going to leave my breadfruit for like 6 to 10 minutes until they're golden brown. Now they're getting all golden brown, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over on the side. My first batch of breadfruit is finished, and here I have my paper towel. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to use my paper towel to help to suck the excess oil from my breadfruit. We don't want a lot of oil. All right, so yeah, and there you have it. A key point: please make sure you add your salt on your breadfruit before you finish frying your breadfruit. As you can see, I added my salt before frying my breadfruit, and you can see right here, if you take a closer look, the salt is sticking onto my breadfruit right here. Look at that. Yes. So if you fry your breadfruit before you add in your salt, I think the salt gonna be the salt not gonna stick. So the salt is sticking right here, as you can see. It's crunchier and it tastes nice, just like this. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and fry the other rest of breadfruit. So see you guys soon. My breadfruit is finished, looking golden brown, and is smelling oh so delicious. So if you want to learn this nutritious recipe, please do not forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and stay tuned for more cooking videos. Breadfruit is a nutrient-dense fruit, rich in carbohydrates, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals. It is an excellent source of dietary fiber, promoting digestive health. The fruit contains potassium, magnesium, and vitamin C, supporting heart health and immune function. So please make sure you try this in your kitchen. Bye for now, guys.